Most organizations today are familiar with the concept of supply chain management. But what if you could apply those tenets to talent? Here today to talk about that topic is, on my right, Juan Gonzalez, partner at Axiom Consulting Partners, and Mark Efron, the president of the Talent Strategy Group. So Mark, when you think about producing talent in a systemic way, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we like to approach building talent the same way that we'd build anything else, with the same level of rigor and discipline and care. Not that that means that you treat people like widgets, but why shouldn't we focus on optimizing the talent production line just like we focus on optimizing any other talent production line? In our view, that means that you should be doing a number of things in a very structured way, starting with clarify your specifications. Do you know what you're trying to build? It's amazing in how many organizations we work with when we ask what are the 3 characteristics that differentiate your great leaders, we get blank stares back. So clarify what exactly you're trying to build. If you're not clear on that, all of your efforts after that are wasted. Second, look at your raw materials. You have a lot of talent in that storehouse, but not all that talent can be manufactured into what you've just specified. So have a great talent review process where you say that we can accurately predict people's ability to move forward at a certain pace. So a very structured succession planning or talent review process, and then move into actual production. And there are 3 things that companies need to think about when they think about production. First, do we actually know how to produce what we specified? If we said we want to build great general managers, fantastic. Do you actually understand how you would machine and paint and polish to create a great general manager? Second, do you have the machinery in-house? You might say to develop great general managers, they need to move from a sales role to a small country to a big country. Well, do we have enough small countries to actually develop them? If you don't, you end up with a production bottleneck. Finally, distribution. Can you get that talent to where it's needed around the world? You've just spent a lot of effort and energy building this great quality talent. If it's not properly deployed, it becomes inventory. And inventory that sits around for a while becomes stale or rots. So the goal is to really think about building talent the same way that we would build anything else, with this very lean production approach that's very clear about what we're trying to build and a very efficient machining process to produce better talent faster than our competitors.
Well, and again, it's not about treating people like widgets, but bringing this discipline to bear is really valuable. I mean, the same way that organizations and leaders think about managing any critical raw material, any critical asset that they have, they need to think about talent. So there's a couple other elements that we run across. Sourcing is a really critical one. I mean, at least in the United States, we're basically at full employment. It's a service-driven economy, so good talent's hard to find and is especially valuable. Sourcing that talent in new and innovative ways is a real key to success. We've seen organizations leverage technology and human inputs to get one leg up on sourcing. So one organization that we know essentially turned LinkedIn upside down and used the contacts and links that their individual people had, not just to identify talent, but to engage the people who worked in their organization as recruiters who could bring in better talent, better raw material, if you will, faster and get those folks to stay longer. Another piece here is around modeling talent flow. So as Mark described, you need to know where these folks are going to go. You also need to know how many people you're going to need. So you can start making the decisions now to create the talent that you need later. And then finally, performing some regular preventative maintenance. Just because somebody doesn't leave, because they haven't given notice, because they don't look unhappy today, doesn't mean that that isn't going to happen sometime down the line. So organizations that spend a little bit of time and maybe invest a little bit of money in early detection mechanisms to understand what it's going to take to keep people around, to understand what skills people need to build, what capabilities they need to have so they can contribute in the future, are effectively planning for success in a way that's hard to replicate.
That's all for this time. For more perspectives from Mark and Juan, please visit axiomcp.com and talentstrategygroup.com. See you next time.